Hello and welcome. You're watching News at 6 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's start straight away with the headlines this evening. Breach of privilege notice against Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in Rajya Sabha. Congress MP KVP Ramchandra Rao alleges that Union Minister instigated BJP members to disrupt proceedings on Friday. Four militants killed, another captured in encounter in Nogam sector near line of control in Kupwara. Security officials say the dead men were all foreign nationals. Curfew restrictions lifted from all parts of Kashmir except Anantnag for the first time after 17 days of unrest. Mobile internet train services, however, still remain suspended. Four-day U.S. Democratic National Convention starts in Philadelphia. Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton gets powerful endorsements from Vermont Governor Bernie Sanders and First Lady Michelle Obama. And in a bizarre knife attack, 19 people were stabbed to death and over 25 injured in Japan. Victims were all patients in a care home for people with disabilities in Kanagawa Prefecture. Well, starting with news from Parliament, Congress MP KVP Ramchandra Rao today moved a breach of privilege notice against Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in Rajya Sabha. He alleged that the Union Minister instigated BJP members to disrupt the proceedings of the House to scuttle his private member bill on granting special status to Andhra Pradesh.
Raising the issue during zero hour, Congress MP KVP Ramchandra Rao said that a notice under Rules 187 and 188 was given against Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. Rao alleged that Naqvi allowed the BJP members to troop into the well of Rajya Sabha on Friday to stall proceedings.
I have given a notice of breach of privilege under Rule 187 and 188 of Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business.
No, when did you give notice?
Sir, my prayer, sir, the action of Sri Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, MOS Parliamentary Affairs, by permitting
listen.
to go to the House, to go to the
Okay, now you listen to me. It is with me.
Committed a breach of privilege of the House.
Now listen to me.
Deputy Chairman PJ Kurian said that Rao's notice has been received and it will be examined by Chairman Muhammad Hamid Ansari.
Your notice is with me.
Sir.
It will be examined by the Honorable Chairman.
Sir.
And the result will be intimated.
KVP Ramchandra Rao was anchoring a private member's bill for implementation of a special package for Andhra Pradesh. The bill, however, got stalled due to protest by the Treasury benches over the controversial filming of Parliament by a Lok Sabha legislator. The House was then adjourned for the day and the bill could not be taken up.
The 27 July 2000.
Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on that development, let's go across to our correspondent Vishal Daya. Vishal, a very good evening. Yesterday, in fact, the whole of yesterday, we saw proceedings being derailed. Now, today, there was a privilege motion against MOS Parliamentary Affairs. What is the tussle all about, Vishal?
Indeed, today also in the second half, Tina, as far as this issue is concerned, that's the private members' legislation which was moved by the Congress MP KVP Ramchandra Rao pertaining to, granting a special status to the state of Andhra Pradesh. That bill, all of us know, was stalled on Friday, and then there were disruptions yesterday as well with the Congress members demanding that that bill be taken up on priority basis immediately. But that is something which the chair also clarified is not possible as per the rules, since Friday is the day which has been slotted for private members' business. In the second half also today we saw, in the first half, this was the privilege motion, notice of privilege motion, which was moved by KVP Ramchandra Rao against the MOS for Parliamentary Affairs, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. But in the second half, after that calling attention motion was over, the Congress members once again trooped into the well with the same demand that the said bill should be taken up immediately for discussion and voting in the House. The chair, although, Dr. PJ Kurian, who's the deputy chairperson, he clarified that as per rules, this is something which is not possible since it would require a prior permission from the chairman of the House as well as consent of the leader of the House. And he suggested a way out, saying that this could be done this Friday, despite the fact that this Friday is the day reserved for resolutions and not for private members' legislations.
That's right.
So this was something which was rejected by the opposition, who wanted an immediate discussion, and this further led to war of words between both sides. And with the Congress MPs still in the well, there could be no way out. And despite his best efforts, the Kempa bill once again could not be taken up, which has been listed for quite a few days now for discussion and passing. And
so Vishal, after all the disruption yesterday and almost half of today as well, is there an end in sight to this tug of war over the private members' bill?
Not as of now, because either of the sides will have to, take a step back. Either the opposition, that's specifically the Congress, will have to agree to the proposal which was moved in by the Deputy Chairperson today, that this bill can be taken up for discussion on Friday, or the Leader of the House will have, that is the government, will have to agree to Congress's demands that the bill be taken up immediately. But that would also require a final decision and a final consent by the Chairman of the House.
All right, Vishal, many thanks for joining us and giving us those details. Staying with news from Parliament, the opposition led by the JMM and the Congress accused the ruling BJP of intimidation and threats in the recent biennial polls to the Rajya Sabha. Opposition members also sought a House committee to investigate the alleged misuse of administrative machinery in Jharkhand during the recently held Rajya Sabha polls. The government, however, refuted the allegations of misuse of office and assured a fair probe into the matter. Raising the issue during 0 hour, Sanjeev Kumar of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha alleged that on the eve of polling, 2 opposition MLAs were harassed in some old cases, while one JMM MLA was arrested in a petty case to prevent him from casting his vote. Maintaining that a copy of the CD proving coercion by a police officer would be made available to the Union Home Minister, the JMM member demanded strict action against the police officer.
मैं संसद को बताना चाहता हूं महोदय, जब विधायकों को धन बल एवं अन्य असंवैधानिक ताकतों से अपने समर्थन में वोट डालने पर तैयार नहीं किया जा सका, तब 2 विधायकों को पुराना केसों के नाम पर इतना परेशान किया गया कि वे वोट नहीं डाल सके और सत्ता पक्ष सिर्फ 1 वोट से कम में चुनाव जीत गया.
Leader of opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad corroborated Kumar's stance and alleged that the ruling party had resorted to decadent measures to win Rajya Sabha seats. He also demanded formation of a House committee to probe the incident. The JDU and the CPIM later also joined ranks with the Congress.
मोटे संबरडी बन गया है गवर्नमेंट का, ये इस गवर्नमेंट का कि सीनियर आईएएस ऑफिसर्स को इलेक्शन जीतने के लिए एमएलएज को धमकाना, उनको डराना और अपने कैंडिडेट को जिताना, ये तो बिल्कुल अनडेमोक्रेटिक है, अनएक्सेप्टेबल।
मैं सरकार से विनती करूंगा कि इन चुनावों में कोई किसी तरह की भी धांधली जो होती है वो इस देश के लिए बहुत गंभीर और सदन के लिए बहुत गंभीर होगा। इसलिए मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि ये जो इसको बहुत
Sir, want the government to let that CD be given. That should be investigated properly, and the guilt should be established and punished.
Rubbishing accusations of irregularities, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi upheld the credibility of the Election Commission.
चुनाव आयोग की विश्वसनीयता और चुनाव आयोग के कामकाज पर हम सबको विश्वास है। हम सबको किसी भी तरह से चुनाव आयोग के कामकाज और विश्वसनीयता पर शक करने का कोई कारण नहीं है।
The government further asserted that action will be initiated as per procedure. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. On to some other news. Huge setback for India in the Antriksh Davis case. An international tribunal in The Hague has ruled against the Indian government over the cancellation of a contract between telecommunication firm Davis Multimedia and Antriksh Corporation Limited. The decision is likely to cost India billions of dollars now in damages. The case pertains to 2005, when ISRO's commercial arm Antriksh Corporation entered an agreement with Davis to lease out satellite spectrum that the Bangalore-based company could use to provide high-quality telephone and internet services. The deal involved Antriksh launching 2 ISRO satellites and leasing nearly 70 megahertz of S-band satellite spectrum to Davis for 12 years. In return, Davis committed to paying upfront fees of over $30 million. But in the year 2011, ISRO annulled the agreement after an audit report showed irregularities in the agreement. Now, the Permanent Court of Arbitration has ruled that the government's actions in annulling the ISRO-Davis contract had breached treaty commitments to accord fair treatment to Davis's foreign investors. Moving on to Kashmir now, where curfew was lifted from all parts except Anantnag after 17 days of unrest in the valley. However, restrictions on assembly of 4 or more people will continue in some parts of the valley. Curfew was imposed across Kashmir on the 9th of July, a day after the killing of Hizbul Mujahideen commander Burhan Wani. Mobile, telephone, internet services and train services, however, remain suspended. Schools, colleges and other educational institutions also remain closed due to a strike called by separatist groups. The separatists have also called for a march to Kulgam on Wednesday. They've also called for a 3-day shutdown from tomorrow to the 29th of July. As many as 47 people have died and over 5,000 people have been injured in the clashes so far.
वहाँ के युवा भी समझ रहे हैं, नौजवान इस बात को अब समझने लगे हैं कि पाकिस्तान के द्वारा ये भड़काने का जो प्रयास था, पत्थर फेंकने का पुलिस दलों पर, सुरक्षा दलों पर, इस बात को लेकर एक बड़ी बातें प्रेस मीडिया के माध्यम से जनता ने समझी है, तभी तो वहाँ पे कर्फ्यू में ढील देने की हमने सोची है।
हम चाहते हैं कि लोगों को इनकन्वीनियंस कम हो जाए। अब 10-15 दिन हो गए, लोग काफ़ी गरीब लोग भी इसमें रहते हैं और वो भी अगर थोड़ा बहुत जाते हैं अपनी मजदूरी वगैरह करने। दूसरा ये है एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज़ के लिए भी जो दूध सब्जी है, फल है वगैरह, राशन वगैरह है, बाकी चीज़ें हैं, किसी को दवाई लेनी है, मेडिकल शॉप्स तो खुली है, हमने अपील की थी पहले कई जगह। तो कोशिश हमारी ये है कि लोगों की इनकन्वीनियंस कम हो जाए।
4 militants were killed and another apprehended by security forces today during an encounter in Nogam sector near the line of control in Kupwara district. According to army officials, all the militants were foreign nationals. Union Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju called the arrest of a terrorist a big success, saying that it brings out in the open the game plan of Pakistan. Security forces now expect some vital information from the militant caught alive.
जिंदा आतंकवादी को पकड़ना ये बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी है। इससे बहुत और राज खोलेगा और उनका नेटवर्क सारा उसका पोल जो है और दुनिया के सामने में खोलेगा।
One group which has possibly infiltrated 3-4 days back is four terrorists have been neutralized today. There is a little internal disturbance. There will be attempts which are going to be made to push in more and more infiltration, and we are quite well prepared to deal with it. But yes, we will see, and that's my estimate, that we will see more infiltration attempts in the coming few weeks.
And on to the flood situation in the northeastern states now. The central government has assured all possible help to flood-ravaged Assam in dealing with the crisis situation in the state. Nearly 13 lakh people are reeling under the fury of flood in 18 districts of Assam. Flood situation has also aggravated further in Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal.
The centre will send a team to assess the current flood situation in Assam. The Brahmaputra river is flowing above danger mark in the state. About 12.5 lakh people are affected as flood waters submerged thousands of houses and agriculture fields. Over 20,000 people have taken shelter in 18 relief camps set up by the government. 2 World Heritage sites, the Kaziranga and Manas National Parks, are also submerged.
140 गांव अभी अफेक्ट हुआ आज तक, माने 140 गांव पे हम रिलीफ मटेरियल दे दिया और ये ब्रह्मपुत्र नदी भी माने डेंजर लेवल के ऊपर माने भर रहे हैं, माने फ्लो हो रहा है। वो ब्रह्मपुत्र का पानी कम हो जाएगा तो फ्लड सिचुएशन तो कम हो जाएगा।
At least 4 people died in the last 24 hours as the flood situation worsened in 3 districts of West Bengal. More than 58,000 people are affected in 150 villages of Jalpaiguri and Cooch Behar districts.
Most affected states are Assam, West Bengal, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. And all these states have been reeling under flood situation simply because in certain states there has been some rain, there has been heavy to very heavy rains, and also because of the release of water from Nepal.
The situation in flood-ravaged Namsai and East Siang districts of Arunachal Pradesh is also grim. There are reports of fresh areas being inundated by several rivers that are flowing above danger mark. The weatherman has warned of heavy rains in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Meghalaya, Bihar, Haryana and Delhi. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's now take a look at what else is making news around the country in our segment Nationwide. A 17-year-old girl from Jafrabad in northeastern Delhi became the first casualty of dengue this year in the city. Identified as Farheen, the girl died at the Delhi government-run Loknaik Hospital due to what is called the dengue shock syndrome. In the past 1 week alone, the city reported 40 dengue cases, taking the total number of dengue cases to 90 till date. Human rights activist Irom Sharmila announced today that she will end her fast on the 9th of August. She told media persons that she will contest the assembly elections after breaking her fast. Sharmila said she no longer believes that her 16-year-old long fast will lead to the repeal of AFSPA, but she will continue her fight. Sharmila started her hunger strike in November 2000. Auto rickshaws and taxis in Delhi went on an indefinite strike today against app-based taxi services like Uber and Ola. The auto rickshaw unions say that the government has failed to fulfill its commitment on taking action against these app-based services. There are about 85,000 auto rickshaw and 15,000 yellow-black taxis in the national capital. The Supreme Court today said that the bull taming sport of Jallikattu cannot be justified even if it is a centuries-old tradition. The court fixed 30th of August for final hearing of the matter to decide on the constitutional validity of Jallikattu. It further said that no adjournments will be granted in the case after it commences the final hearing in the matter. With that, time for a very short break. Lots more coming up on the other side.
Hemkund Sahib, sacred shrine of the Sikhs, widely acclaimed for being the highest in the world, located in the Himalayas at an altitude of 15,200 feet. The Gurudwara is designed with an image of an upside-down lotus flower.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, the French police today killed 2 armed men who had taken several people hostage at a church in northern France. Now, according to the police, 2 knife-wielding men attacked the church and took 5 people hostage, including a priest, 2 nuns and 2 worshippers as well. The French media reported that the attackers killed one of the hostages and also slit the throat of the priest of the church. The attackers were also killed after the police stormed the building. The motive behind the attack is not clear yet. The police, meanwhile, had blocked off all the roads around the church, and the anti-terrorism section has taken over the investigation now further into the incident. French President Francois Hollande has vowed to fight against the Islamic State, saying France will fight against it by all means. The incident comes as France is under high alert after an attack in Nice that killed 84 people and a string of deadly attacks last year, claimed by the Islamic State terror group.
Ce sont les catholiques qui ont été frappés, tous les catholiques, mais ce sont tous les Français qui se sentent concernés. C'est pourquoi nous devons être dans une cohésion, dans un ensemble, dans un bloc que personne ne doit pouvoir fissurer.
A similar incident took place in Japan as well, where a knife-wielding man stabbed and killed as many as 19 people and injured 25 others at a care center for the mentally disabled in the country. The 26-year-old Satoshi Umatsu, a former employee of the disabled facility, also reportedly said that all disabled people should disappear from the world. Now, authorities have called it Japan's worst mass killing in decades.
It was early hours on Tuesday when a 26-year-old man, Satoshi Uematsu, entered a care home for people with disabilities in Japan's Kanagawa prefecture and went on a stabbing rampage. At least 19 people were stabbed to death and over 25 were injured. The incident was described as Japan's worst mass casualty in the post-war era.
子供が好きで子供には好かれる性格だと思いますね。見た目が明るいし、ちゃんと挨拶も明るくしてくれるんで、性格的に言えばお世話しているうちに両親も大変だろうなとか、だったらこういう子供はいない方がいいんじゃねえかと思うようになったんだと思います。
After going on a shooting spree, the attacker, Satoshi Uematsu, then drove himself to the police station to turn himself in and was immediately arrested. According to local media reports, Uematsu said that it's better that disabled people disappear, and in fact wrote a letter in February to the Speaker of the lower house of Japan's parliament calling for euthanasia for disabled people. Uematsu was a former employee of the very same disabled facility where the incident happened.
私たちが勤めてる頃はね、本当に利用者と職員っていう形じゃなくて、本当に友達っていうようなね、和気あいあいとしたね。
しかしそれから5ヶ月間特に何もなかったようですけども、それが突然今朝の強行に及んだということですね。だからそういう前兆はあったといえばあったんでしょうけども、しかしそれを事前にこういう事態を防ぐということがそれはできたのかできなかったのか。
Residents of Sagamihara said the last murder in the area was reported 10 years ago. Such bloodshed is highly unusual in Japan, which had one gun death last year, and this attack is shaping up to be the worst single perpetrator mass murder in modern Japanese history. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And on now to the United States, where a 4-day U.S. Democratic National Convention started yesterday in Philadelphia on a tense note. Vermont Governor Bernie Sanders endorsed Democrat presidential candidate Hillary Clinton for the top post, but received a mixed response. Sanders said the choice between Clinton and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump was not even close. And U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama also passionately endorsed Clinton. The U.S. Democratic National Convention kicked off on a divisive note in Philadelphia on Monday. The opening day saw furor over controversy surrounding leaked emails that threatened to derail a message of party unity. Former presidential nominee and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders received a rousing welcome when he took the podium, but his appeal to choose Hillary Clinton as the next president saw a mixed response from the crowd.
I served with her in the United States Senate and know her as a fierce advocate for the rights of children, for women, and for the disabled. Hillary Clinton will make an outstanding president, and I am proud to stand with her tonight.
Later in the evening, U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama received a rapturous reception for a powerful speech in which she took on Republican nominee Donald Trump and passionately backed Hillary Clinton for the White House post.
I want a president who will teach our children that everyone in this country matters. A president who truly believes in the vision that our founders put forth all those years ago, that we are all created equal, each a beloved part of the great American story. And I am here tonight because I know that that is the kind of president that Hillary Clinton will be. And that's why in this election, I'm with her.
Several Hollywood celebrities also pledged their support to Clinton and criticized Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump for his comments about immigrants.
I'm proud to support a presidential candidate who will fight to ensure all people living with mental health conditions get the care they need to lead fulfilling lives. That candidate is Hillary Clinton.
Meanwhile, in an address to a veterans group in Philadelphia, Hillary Clinton said she had an optimistic view of America in contrast to that of her Republican opponent Donald Trump, who presented a dark and divisive picture.
One thing for certain, you will not ever hear from me is praise for dictators and strong men who have no love for America.
Clinton will accept the presidential nomination on Thursday as she bids to become the first female president of the United States of America. The current opinion poll shows Trump has slightest of edge over Clinton. Clinton likely will need some portion of Sanders' support to stay competitive. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And for some more international updates, here's the Global Buzz. The police in Bangladesh have killed 9 suspected Islamist militants after a gun battle in Dhaka. The militants belong to the band Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen, responsible for the Dhaka cafe terror attack earlier this month. The militants were killed after an hour-long gunfight, while another extremist who received bullet wounds was arrested. Around 10 people were killed, including 7 UN guards, in a suicide bomb blast in Baghdad. Al-Shabaab terror group has claimed responsibility. The attack took place when an explosives-laden car tried to speed through the barrier at the UN Mine Action Services office in Mogadishu. Al-Shabaab is waging an insurgency war against Somalia's weak UN-backed government. Pakistan, meanwhile, has demanded an UN-backed, independent and transparent inquiry into the extrajudicial killing of Hizbul Mujahideen commander Burhan Wani, as well as protesters in Kashmir, terming the situation there a grave threat to peace and security. Pakistan's envoy to the UN, Maliha Lodi, met UN Under-Secretary General Edmond Mule, where she raised the killing of Burhan Wani and described him as a popular Kashmiri youth leader. And on to some sports news now. India's medal-winning hopes at the upcoming Rio Olympics suffered yet another setback after ace shot putter Inderjeet Singh failed a doping test. Inderjeet Singh became the second athlete to test positive for a banned substance. His A sample has returned positive for steroids, androsterone and etioculanolone. Inderjeet was informed by the National Anti-Doping Agency on Monday night. His out-of-competition test was done on the 22nd of June. Inderjeet claims it's a conspiracy against him and his sample has been tampered with. Meanwhile, NADA Director General Naveen Agarwal refused to confirm Inderjeet's name since his B sample is yet to be tested. But he did not reveal that the shot putter had he did reveal, in fact, that the shot putter had recorded a whereabouts failure last month.
He is given an option of sample B. Right now only sample A has tested positive, and sample B we would give him an option, and if he chooses that, then the seal would be, he would be witness to the sealing that was done in his presence, and the testing would be done in his presence. And after that the report comes in, then a panel would be constituted where he can put up any other defense that he would like to.
एक खिलाड़ी को अगर खत्म करना है तो इस तरह की साजिश रची जाती है हमारे यहाँ, और ऐसा भी कहा जा रहा है कि इंद्रजीत डोप से भाग रहा था, पर ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। मैं जब से यूएस से आया हूँ लगातार मैंने 6 बार डोप टेस्ट दिया है, और ये जो डोप हुआ है ये जो बीच में हुआ है, मतलब जो 3rd डोप टेस्ट हुआ है और ऊपर जो 2 हुए हैं और बाद में जो 3 हुए हैं उसका अभी कोई भी रिजल्ट नहीं है, तो ये बीच में कैसे आ गया, और इसके पीछे साजिश है और इस तरह से की गई है कि इंदर को खत्म कर दिया जाए.
And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.